got glasses for the first time when I was in 6th grade. Had a test in school and found out, Dearhammer, you don't see very well. And then got glasses, and on the day I got those glasses, stepped out of the optometrist store with my mom and said, "Wow, does everybody see like this? This is incredible." And my mom felt horrible. So every time I want to make my mom feel bad, I tell her that story again. See how long, think of where I could have gone if I could have seen when I was in 6th grade. And I could finally see the board in school. It was amazing. But I thought everybody saw like that. And then I wore glasses for years, and then my sister got LASIK surgery, and it looked, I was a little spooked by it. But at the same time, I thought it was an interesting idea, and so 6 months after my sister got LASIK surgery, I got it. And it was amazing. They spent 23 seconds on this eye and 40 seconds on this eye, and 5 minutes later they bring me into a room and say, "Please read the chart on the wall." And I wanted to mess with them and say, "What wall? I don't see a wall." But I figured I shouldn't mess around with them. So I was seeing 25 minutes after that. It was amazing. It must be difficult to be blind. It must be a horrible thing to carry. I can't imagine how that would be. But there are many forms of blindness. Certainly there is physical blindness, but there's also the inability to see the point of view of another person, or when we don't see people who are in need, or someone else who is hurting. Maybe a child who just can't see how this math problem is going to work out. So many different ways of not being able to see. But Bartimaeus has, of course, a physical inability to see, but he's able to see that Jesus is the one who can help him. And so our gospel today tells us that Bartimaeus, even though he's physically unable to see, can see pretty clearly with the eyes of faith. And so the lessons that we can bring from this gospel is, first of all, keep on praying, keep on talking to God. Because Bartimaeus is sitting on the side of the road. "Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me." And he says it once, he says it twice, but the people on the side of the road are telling him, "Keep quiet, stop that. Jesus doesn't want to hear your prayer. You don't count. You don't count for us, and you don't count to God." But he still shouts out with great confidence, seeing that Jesus is able to help him. "Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me." And then, of course, he's called, and he extends another prayer to Jesus. "Master, I want to see." And so his prayer was constant. His prayer was constant even though people around him were telling him, "Don't pray. Nobody's listening." But he keeps on saying, "Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. I know you can help me. Yes, I can't see your face, but I know you are here for a reason, that you are here to help me and to help all of our brothers and sisters." And so we should never give up in our prayer and always be constant in prayer like Bartimaeus. And then at the end of the story, it's very important. It says he follows Jesus on the way. Jesus tells him, "Go your own way." But Bartimaeus says no, and says, "I will follow you on your way." So Bartimaeus doesn't just leave like the lepers from the 10 lepers story. They don't just go their own merry way. Bartimaeus follows Jesus on the way because now Jesus' presence has cured him. Jesus' touch has given him new life and new hope. And so now he wants to be a true disciple and sees that Jesus is the one to follow in life and no one else. And so he can truly see that Jesus is the one who can give life to all people and changes his life as a result. So for us, this gospel is a challenge, but also a time to think very seriously about how we live our lives as disciples. Do we see Jesus every day in our prayer, first of all? Do we see Jesus every day in the family and friends and co-workers and schoolmates that we encounter every day? Because truly, Jesus' presence is in those people. Do we see Jesus in those who are poor, those who are suffering, those who are hungry, those who are naked? Do we reach out to the stranger, to the person in need? For indeed, Jesus is present there in those people as well. Do we see Jesus in ourselves? Do we treat ourselves well? And I don't just mean with material stuff, but do we treat ourselves with respect? Or are we very, very hard on ourselves? Do we take drugs or too much alcohol or eat too much or pressure ourselves to be perfect when clearly we are not perfect? In those times, we ask the Lord to let us to see His presence in us so that we can truly be the people who reflect Jesus' presence in the world. Do we talk to Jesus only when we need something? Or do we see others in Jesus, or do others see Jesus in us? Do others see Jesus in us because of the way we lead our lives, the way we carry ourselves, the virtues that we practice, the good works that we do, and the faith that we express each day? The gospel invites us to open our eyes completely to the wonder of God's love for us, that God can heal us, that God can make us new, just as He did to Bartimaeus. Jesus invites us to see His presence in our lives, even in ways that we may not exactly see at the beginning. And so we pray the words of Bartimaeus. Lord, have pity on us. Help us to see You in every single moment of our lives. Help us to see You in those who are different than we are. Help us to see You in those who are suffering in our society. And ultimately, help us to see Your mark in us so that we can truly show Your presence to the world and be Your disciples in the world, showing everyone the presence of Jesus through our actions and our words. Let's now please stand.